What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the world's best arena grinding tutorial. Today we're going to show you how to turn your brain off and mindlessly grind for units because there's nothing else happening in the game. Welcome. Oh, man. Actually, though, I should probably do a quick audio check. All right, check 1 2. Zemo, it looks like Charles is first. You were close though. Maybe it took you a little too long to type out first. What's going on, guys? Happy Monday. We got Charles in here, Zemo in here, Spidey, Beefcake. The battle for the first chatter continues, it seems. You guys kill me. Oh, I need to be a little bit more like happy. Like I need to spend these boosts a little bit more frequently in war, I feel like. Oh, so close on that though. You finished the Elder difficulty? Very nice. Did you open any crystals as a result of that, Charles? Or are you kind of in save mode? Also, we're not getting another one of these this week, right? This is like all over now. I think it is. I think so. All right, well, time to get down to brass tacks. Down to business. Can be another arena day. Man, there's not a lot going on in the game right now. You're in save mode? Does that also include your basics as well? Or just Titans? I know a lot of people are just saving Titans. You did open a Titan a few days ago? Well, if you haven't told me already, what'd you get from it, man? Oh, you got a dupe on Gentle. Hey, that's a good dupe to have, though. It makes him a little bit more palatable to use. Lions about to be 14-7. Yes, keep me posted on that score, please, Spidey. I don't have any, like, website pulled up or anything for that. But yeah, you're well on your way to Sig 200, Gentle, which is where you want him to be. I don't even remember what Charm does. Whenever I play Enchantress in Arena, I just cast, like, I just do random inputs and hope it's actually a spell. And if it's not, it'll give me a random one, which is nice. But yeah, we are definitely, like... We are kind of seeing the results of the curse of the streaming life, which is I do all the content basically day one. How many units have I grinded so far, Jack? Let me look. I have grinded 25,477 units, and then I have 3.6 million battle chips, we'll say, if we're rounding up. We're in a pretty good spot right now, man. Welcome into the stream, by the way. You too, stud. Yeah, Spidey, your Titan luck has been something awful. I feel pretty bad, dude. You've done a lot of like hard content lately too. Like the push has been real. It feels like you should be getting rewarded more than you are. I will say it's gonna be sad not having a Titan opening for so long. because I've committed to saving now. You had 3,000 units. I wonder if you can grind enough for Banquet. Maybe. It depends how many units they put in the milestones, Jack. If I had to guess, I would say if you want to reach max milestones, probably not. Unless you still have a lot of like story content and stuff to do. There's a pretty good amount of units and all that stuff though. But I'm sure you can get a majority of, or like not a majority, but you can get a lot of good stuff, I think. If you like are pretty frequent with the arena grinding, and if you want, you can use Radiance on units. I don't think that's a horrible deal, personally. So that's also a route you could take. There are definitely ways to get your unit gains up pretty high. I don't know if you could get them high enough to clean out the milestones or not without spending, though. To answer your question from earlier, you're going to start saving your 7-star basics? What's the objective behind that one, Charles? Is there a champion you're hunting, or you just want to have a huge opening? You took iDoom from Sig 160 to 180? Yeah, that's a big prestige carry. Spidey, that's what I'm like. That kind of bad luck is the kind of thing that I almost guarantee will happen when I pull I'll pull Spider-Woman before I get Ham. I'll probably rank her up, or it'll be the reverse, and I'll fully invest in Spider-Ham and then pull Spider-Woman like the next day. Is Daniel Jones Danny Dimes? I don't know, man. We'll just have to wait and see. The way he's playing right now, it feels that way, though. I picked him up off waivers in one of my leagues, and he's done okay so far. You'll start saving him for a 5-pop? Just for funsies? I like it. I can't hold basics longer than a day. Oh, I know. Yeah, Spidey, you've been criminally robbed. I think you should, like, file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. Who would you say is on the top of that list for you, Charles? That's what the Giants will do to you. Dude, honestly, the New York Giants, the New York Jets, they're just... they're where quarterbacks go to die, at least currently, it feels like. Might be time for a 7-star Scorpion. I couldn't agree more. Dude, I have been pushing that narrative for so long now. It feels like. But there are a lot of champions that I would like to see as 7 stars. Jugs. That's a good champion to be looking for. You have no Onslaught, no Serp, no Kushala, no Photon. And that's a tough life in today's content to not have any of those champs, actually. I feel like. Ah, Buns. Beautiful. Can't be as bad as your Bears whooping on dem boys. Dude, the Cowboys just can't catch a break. It feels like every year it's like, oh, they're going to be like really good. They're going to be a threat. And then they just disappoint. To be fair, it's still really early in the season, and they have shown that they're a decent team. They just need a defense, dude. then they could be scary if they had a defense. If only they, I don't know, had like some like really good pass rusher or something. Be a scary team. Like one is Gene, Nico, Zemo, or Carolina. Yeah, I didn't know that there were that many of the new champs you hadn't pulled yet, Spidey. I thought you got at least a couple. Yeah, that's even worse than I thought, actually. Once WAP gets in here, tell him to use his connections with Karate Mike. Maybe he can help you out. I doubt it, though. I've been trying to bully WAP into telling Karate Mike to rig my account for a Spider Ham for months now, so... Pickett be having a hissy fit. Top 5 QBs right now? I would, like, in no particular order, I would say Lamar, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. And then, I don't know who claims that last spot. Baker's been playing like a baller, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be tempted to put Baker up there. At least, like, from the games that I've seen. Can't remember. Yeah, he is. It's immune. Doesn't. But I would probably say that. There could be a quarterback I'm forgetting. But I wouldn't say Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is not consistent enough yet. But he definitely has, like, ability to be top 5. You got, let's see, Jack, you opened 9 Titans. First of all, congrats, and I'm jealous. And you got Gallon, Yelena, Carolina Dean, and Zemo. All solid pulls. All solid pulls. I've heard a lot of good things about Carolina Dean. And then Gallon and Yelena are really nice as well. Even Zemo's not too bad. Josh Lamar, Daniel, Justin, and Stafford. I think Stafford is fringe. I think you could put him on there, though. Yo, what's up, WAP? Gallon is funny to play. I do like the huge burst damage. All of a sudden, your opponent will just flop over dead. Which, out of context, sounds really twisted, but we're talking about MCOC. Fighting my big brother, future Ant-Man. No, I knew that was going to happen. Ouch. No, stop. There we go. Yeah, I think a lot of people are a stud. I did, Charles. Sorry, I forgot to reply to it. You'll rank Nico. If you rank her, you'll mainly be for the same reason we ranked up Zola. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've gotten to play a single Battlegrounds match with my Nico. So it's not a bad idea. Arena has worn you out. Happy it's raid week. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, WAP. Streaming Arena makes all the difference for me, man. It's kind of nice. I get to chat with you guys. And then, like, just put Arena on autopilot, basically. That's okay, though. At least I get to use my Nico in Arena, you know? which isn't the best, but hey, you know what? Whatever. And my eyes are like super dry today for some reason. Ugh. But it's not even just arena, I feel like, that burns people out in this game. That definitely can be part of it, though. Well, I got to use my rank 4 for like 10 seconds. That was fun. I did? Oh, I did. That's right. I forgot you let her through. Which I thank you for, by the way. That's true. I forgot we matched last week in Battlegrounds. Might play some BGs tomorrow, I think. But I think today will probably be just an arena stream. But anyway, yeah, it's just... It's nice that I can just not pay attention, basically. I can almost exclusively look at chat. Sometimes I'll take a death to that, but... Also, how come we haven't seen Yondu as a 7-star yet? That's been kind of confusing. There were a lot of people raving over, like, his buff and whatnot, and I don't think there's even a 7-star Yondu yet. You're in Vibranium? Holy cow, nice. What if Nico was Enchantress's rebellious daughter? That could be some deep lore. No, the Nico lore is kind of dark. Welcome in, Miguel. Yeah, you can ask me a question. Go ahead. He is a 7-star? Wait, as where? I swear I haven't seen him in any, like, crystal or anything. Yeah, RJ, I've heard good things about Purgatory and raids. From pretty much everybody. It's like... It makes me a little bit jelly. Maybe this banquet, though, I'll be able to join the Purgatory gang. I hope so. Yeah, that does seem like a champion Saiyan would love to have, Charles. Jack, the only thing I could think of is like maybe some content creators for the game that have like special privilege. Maybe they got one on that account, their account to test. But I don't think he's available. Not to my knowledge, at least. Yeah, I think he would be solid. Like, dude, even as a defender, unless you're rupture immune, you're just gonna get free damage, basically. It definitely is weird, though, because I feel like a lot of champions, they buff or, like, change a significant portion of their kit. There's always been, historically speaking, an option to get them in, like, the current event or spending event or just, like, thing, and that did not happen with Yondu. What's the best rotation for raids? I'm gonna be honest. That question, if someone in the chat knows the ideal way to do that, please go right ahead. Personally, the alliance I'm in, we don't really do a lot of optimal things because I'm in like a pretty casual alliance. So I've never really looked into that kind of thing too much, Miguel. Because usually I just kind of go in there and I feel like I have to do a lot of things by myself. Yeah, it does seem like Purgatory is just like a strategy. Dude, I still can't believe I haven't changed the stat focus on Cold Obsidian. It's still adrenaline. Honestly, I should go do it right now, but I'm like so like hyper focused in on arena already. I feel like I can't stop what I'm doing. I just like need to finish it. Yeah, the thing I know about raids is like you don't, from what I understand, you don't want to keep just like trying over and over with like the same class. You need to do like work together with your alliance because you're like boosting each other. Unless you're using Purgatory, of course. Allison Edit did put a video out recently claiming Cold Obsidian is mid. Is that the actual words she used? Or did she just kind of imply that he's mid? That just seems like rage baiting for views. Also, thank you, RJ, for being able to answer a question I can't. Appreciate it, dude. Because I think, like, it depends what your definition of mid is, I guess. I could maybe see you making the argument if you're, like, talking about questing. But as far as Battlegrounds goes, I think that's just probably untrue, to be honest. Like, even in a matchup Cole doesn't work for, like, you could just speed your way through it and then hope you win because the match ended so quick. She also made 12 videos about Blue Cyclops. That's a lot. Again, dude, I would give Blue Cyclops so much more praise if he didn't have the stupid running mechanic where he doesn't run. Honestly, it, like, butchers the champion for me a little bit. Yeah, that's really important to do, RJ. Mr. Moo is an absolute menace. No. Let's get Homeboy in the corner, shall we? Yeah, Rincher can get really out of hand if you don't knock him down a lot. Or have something to counter slow. Or unstoppable, I mean. Yeah, the decelerate probably does a lot. Yeah, if you don't have the right counter, though, like, it can be tricky and take a long time. That's what makes him, like, a decent threat in some Battlegrounds metas. He's just generally pretty tanky, too. Dude, I wonder how fast I could do all the arena with recoil masteries instead of, like, willpower and stuff. Good old Crit Monkey. Oh, Oh, he can fail unblockable for Mystic. Honestly, I forget that that's part of his kit. I have used that when I was fighting a Doctor Doom at some time in the past, and I remember that now. Sandman is great against Serpent? How so? I don't think I've ever even thought about using that, or like doing that matchup. To be fair, I don't even have a 7-star Sandman to test any of that kind of stuff, but... Man, that's actually... I forgot I don't... He's been in the pool for a while, I think. I don't have him yet. Keeps his power under control. Yeah, I guess that would make sense. I think Sandman is like decently like tanky too. Oh, it's the petrifies. That makes sense. Man, without like BS Serpent is, I'm surprised he isn't immune to petrify. Actually, speaking of that, though, I think there's like a really small number of champions immune to petrify. That's one of those debuffs that isn't very popular, or like popular enough that there's a ton of champions like immune to it. I just took down Mary Poppins. Saying use Sandman against Serpent in Wheel of Fate. That sounds like a move that he would do. And that pursuit, like I just got a couple more SIGs on Dazzler, I think, when I opened my Titans. That pursuit lasted a lot longer, it felt like. You didn't understand the Mr. Knight fight? Basically, RJ, if you had, like, you want to cause debuffs, and then while Mr. Knight is in his animation of throwing a special attack, any damage from debuffs that are on him are, like, amplified when his special attack is over, and it'll just deal, like, a big thing of burst damage. So, like, technically you can do that fight with anybody because there's the Bane node, which will cause degeneration on the last opponent hit, basically. So technically you could take him down with just the Bane node, but yeah, if you have a champion like Hype, you just want to keep getting like his incinerates on him, basically. Any incinerate, or like poison, or bleed, or yeah. Like Okoye did pretty good against him. Venom did okay. Yeah, it's all about just stacking debuffs, basically, and then baiting a special one. Well, surely, Charles, there's champions that their power gain rate can't be affected or something. But I don't know, maybe not. It does seems like it'd be like in an obscure champions kit somewhere. No, they tied it up. That sucks. I needed the Ravens to lay an egg, Spidey. I'm playing Lamar and Zay Flowers in one league, and I think I'm probably losing now. That could be a thing, TJ. That does seem like a champion that may be. Like I said, I don't think it's a very common ability. If it is on a champion, it's like buried. And like, not a lot of people know about it. It's his awakened ability, okay. Angela was your queen in that map? Dude, the Cosmic Path was really fun. And it can get, like... You can pretty much use anybody if you have Odin. You can just put the Odin pre-fight on a Cosmic champion. They don't even have to have buffs in their kit, really. Yeah, Angela is a fun champ. I will, dude, Lamar versus... I feel like... The Lamar versus Josh Allen conversation is an interesting one, I think. I really don't know if I could say who is, like, decisively better. They're both, like, extremely talented mobile quarterbacks. But I will say Josh does seem to have a better, like, more of a cannon. Not that Lamar can't throw or anything, but... You know... 1 second left in the game, you need to huck it to the end zone. I trust Josh Allen all day for that. Even your Relic was doing dumb damage. Yeah, see, dude, that's the kind of stuff in quests I like. Like, Kabam, like, that's with, like, the prestige stuff. It almost, like, the first time you could tell it was, like, a little bit too hard. Like, I just kind of enjoy going into a quest and, like, absolutely obliterating it, to be honest. I like a challenge here and there, but like the classic EQ difficulty should just be like easy, turn off your brain kind of gameplay, I think. But I think they may have gotten the scaling down this last iteration. Use Sentinel against Mr. Knight? How did that fight go, Charles? Big stomp. I feel like America Chavez, for how good of a champion she is, I don't use that frequently, man. Ooh, Silver Samurai? Cool flex. Yeah, RJ, they swapped out a couple champions. They took out some champions I didn't even feel like needed taken out, but I don't mind it. Like, they swapped the blade out on the mutant path as well. Which I never really thought he was that problematic, but I guess some people did. But yeah, I use Jean Grey against Jean Grey pretty much whenever that matchup happens, RJ. She's coincidentally very good at fighting herself. Holy mackerel. Taking a 67-yard field goal is crazy. I guess, dude, kickers are kind of... They're eating good this year, though, man. Because I guess they're giving them more time to, like, break in the football or something than usual. That's what I heard. So they're, like, able to just, like, boot it from further down. Yeah, I hate reverse controls. Especially when it's like reverse controls that happen like quickly, right? If I know my controls are going to reverse like during a given special attack, like there's that node where you get like reverse controls like every 8 seconds or whatever it is. That doesn't really bother me. But like whenever it just like kind of randomly applies, that throws me off. Mr. Sinister would work too. Yeah, that sounds like a good option actually. That was in preseason, but yeah. Yeah, Cam Little legged it from 70. Yeah, reverse controls in general, I'm not a big fan of. I know that's like an easy, like, skill issue kind of thing to say. But, dude, it gets especially confusing to me when I'm on the controller. And, like, I don't know, there's just, like, something about, like, the flicks of the analog sticks that really throws me off. I don't know how to really describe it. Just a casual 98k crit. Superior Iron Man is crazy. Also, like, I'm playing this game late at night. I don't want to be able to, or like, I don't want to have to use all the brain power in the world. Spidey, quick question for you. Could you look up if Jamison Williams has any catches or anything? Jamo, I need him to do well. And then I'll have a chance at winning this week. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Brandon Aubrey is a beast of a kicker. Also, guys, if you're enjoying the stream so far, if you could go ahead and drop a like, that would be fantabulous. Really help us get more people in here, more people to chat with, have a good time with. would be much appreciated. I'll tell you what, like, as far as kickers go, the downfall of Justin Tucker needs to be studied, man. He was so good. And then he just, like, started playing poorly, got embroiled in controversy. And he was, like, the #1 kicker for a while. Sometimes you think, oh, he has 6 points? Okay, cool. Sometimes you think it was dumb to rank 4 your bishop over Domino, but then you fight against Asian Venom, Crossbones, Molman, and Shield, and you don't regret it as much. Yeah, dude, bishop is still a beast, honestly. I think you could make the case for either of those guys to rank up. Domino, if she's like max sig, I think would probably be a little more tempting to me. But bishop can get fights done really quick too. Tied up at half. Yo. That's good. I'm a little bit bummed I'm missing out on this game. I really wanted to watch it. Ba, 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 ba. Bishop fell off on D. Yes and no. Honestly, like, with the way the AI acts recently, where he'll just throw a special into attack into heavy. Kind of, but I think he can still be threatening. He definitely doesn't hold the chokehold that he used to over defense. I could, Spidey, but yeah. I use a VPN for stuff like that, and that would hinder my streaming significantly. If I were to do that, which I'm not, but I'm just saying, if I were. Moondragon right in the bin. I can't believe nobody voted for Moondragon, by the way, in my poll. That's so sad. You guys just hate Moondragon, huh? For the best of the baldies. I mean, I kind of get it. She wouldn't be my first pick for the football team either, you know? Remember when Magic was the biggest problem? Dude, Magic was a menace in the game. I'm actually really excited to see how they rework her. I hope they make her kit really cool. I think a lot of people forgot they're reworking Magic altogether. I don't remember when they said she's slated to release, though. Hey, speaking of Bishop, though. Blade. 7-star magic gonna be wild. I kind of like for science, I wish they would let us have the current magic at 7-star just to see what kind of mayhem it would like cause. Just give us like old magic as a 7-star for like a week. I just want to know, like, is it actually that bad to justify like never releasing her? The world may never know. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if I can't remember. Other than like they said they were reworking her and they showed like early concept like art or something for it. I don't know if they mentioned at the time how she's going to release or not. That I could be wrong because it was a little bit ago now. $1 million radiance. Dude, maybe they'll drop her for Banquet alongside 7-star Yondu. Maybe that will be how we finally get him. Well, yeah, Zemo, that I understand, but I just want to see it. I just want to see what the stats and like how quick the fights would go, how much limbo she would do for science. Also, I believe there are champions immune to power lock now. There'll be pieces like Deathless. I hope not. I could see it happening though. Like they could have the sword, and then maybe like I don't know, whatever she has on her arms that are like spiky looking. That could be a thing. Who knows? They'll monetize it in some way that I'm sure the public will be thrilled with. That is their MO. Okay, said she'll be available in the Radiant store. Oh boy. I don't even think... Is the Radiance cap that high? Dang, maybe I should start saving now. Although plans change, you can't really buy Radiance. They gotta make money, though. Good try, Beardo. I wonder if they'll keep Limbo in her kit some way, though. Like, maybe she would be able to activate it with, like, a special 3 or something. Hey, thank you, Charles. Yeah, dude, we're closing in on 500, man. We are closing in on 500. Unfortunately, the game does us no favors by not having a lot of stuff going on right now. But yeah, the channel growth has been pretty insane. I need to make another YouTube video, honestly. I haven't had a lot of time lately for stuff like that. Those tend to bring in pretty good subscriber numbers. Or maybe I can go door to door knocking in my neighborhood and ask people to subscribe. Can you imagine? Someone shows up on your porch. Hey, I have a YouTube channel. Will you subscribe? Dude, I don't know if I'll ever get a Deathless champion at this rate, Travis. But maybe when they introduce Magic, that will like lower the price of all the other Deathless. I don't know. I don't know. I hate you, fishbowl man. It annoys, your little damage reflect is so annoying. That'd be an interesting YouTube channel idea. Oh, Jack, like if you just started a YouTube channel and then you went door to door to try to get people to subscribe. Yeah, I wonder how many people you could get to actually subscribe to your channel. Man, that would be so many doors to knock. Like, in the YouTube realm, 500 compared to, like, people with 5 million doesn't seem like a lot. But when you, like, think about how many houses you'd have to knock on to get there, oh my gosh. Assuming all your subscribers came from knocking on doors, though. Like, maybe you could document the whole experience, like, knocking on doors until you reach 1 million subscribers. Something like that. Was Mysterio the first? If you don't count Electro, Charles. One thing that I think would be really cool is... And this might already exist, honestly. But, like, personally for me, streaming, one of my favorite things is just meeting new people and, like, learning new people's, like, stories, basically, right? And, like, getting to know them. Like, that's just my favorite thing. I couldn't care less about MCOC. Like, I just really like talking to you guys. But I think it would be cool if you had a YouTube channel where you would just knock, like, doors of random strangers and ask them to tell you, like, cool stories about their life. I don't know, like, how many people would actually do that because you'd be, like, doing that in a public setting or something, right? But I feel like you could get some really cool content from people. It probably already exists. I feel like it's too good of an idea to not already exist. But I think that would be fun. Just like total strangers, you knock on their door, you give them a quick rundown of your YouTube channel, and then ask if they have any really cool stories that they could share. Falcon Punch. Like, dude, I have met a lot of older people in my life. And, dude, there's some old people with some really cool stories. And they can just ramble, you know? But that's just my idea. Like I said, I feel like I would be shocked if that didn't already exist somewhere. It's okay, we don't have to, Warlock. As long as we don't talk about the Dolphins. Actually, we can. If we want to. Although it's still a fresh wound. I can't believe we are going to be graced with Monday Night Football by the Miami Dolphins. They actually have so many primetime games this year, which I think is funny because they suck. I saw a meme today that was like, breaking news, Miami Dolphins New York Jets game flexed to Comedy Central. It was funny. Also accurate. Sasquatch has become your third SIG 207 star. My goodness, dude. Charles, I really admire your dedication to Sasquatch. It is respectable. You do want to talk? Dude, the Panthers, are they actually good now? Like, what was that game? I didn't even watch it. I just saw the score and I was like, oh my gosh. Are they actually insane now, or? I tell you what, like, watch Kirk Cousins come off the bench and absolutely fry, though, for the Falcons. I don't know if I recall what you're talking about, RJ. Yeah, Zemo, I read it. I just had no input to provide on it. Dude, the Eagles' comeback was actually insane, Charles. I could not believe it. Good teams just know how to win, though. You were secretly a Panthers fan the entire time? You know what? I wouldn't blame you for being too ashamed to talk about it if that's true. But to be fair, like, this is a safe place. I talk about the Dolphins all the time. Can we all agree, though, the Chiefs probably should have lost? Okay, maybe not probably should have lost. Because they did, like, score after it happened. But there was, like, the drive. I can't remember. I think it was before half. I don't remember. Where they called the Giants for illegal contact and then for a pass interference to basically get the Chiefs, like, on the 2-yard line. That was extremely generous calling, I will say. That was kind of fishy. Like, that's the kind of stuff people see and then they think the NFL's rigged, man. And it's like, it's kind of like, oh, of course that would favor the Chiefs, man. Cam Scattaboo does look like the truth. He was putting the team on his back, dude. He was kind of a baller in college, too. You're staying up to make sure that you win? Dude, you guys want to hear something crazy? Trey Benson is in the waiver wire in one of the leagues I'm in. Isn't that wild? So, needless to say, I put all my fab down on him. Whether that'll pay off or not, we'll never know. Or, I mean, we probably will know. There's probably people that'll outbid me, though, honestly. But the way I see it, it's like, dude, that's a potential, like, RB2, RB1. You just can't not jump on that kind of value, I feel like. For the cards. F in the chat if you're a Cardinals fan, by the way. It's a rough time. Who are you playing against, Warlock? Actually, I kind of want to go see if I'm losing right now. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I'm losing in one league already. No, I'm not. I'm still up miraculously. But the Ravens are in the end zone, it looks like. Or not the end zone, the red zone. Wait, maybe they're not? They just score? I'm only up 7 points. There's still 2 quarters to go. My opponent has Lamar and Zay Flowers. I think I'm probably cooked. I think I'm probably cooked. Let me check my other league real quick. My gosh, dude. I need Jamo to do a little bit more. We need a big Jameson Williams play. Otherwise, I'm gonna lose. Eggs. Dang it, dude. I hate everything. And, dude, you know what annoys me about fantasy? I feel like almost every week that I lose, I would have beat like 90% of the rest of the league. It's just like the weirdest curse that I have, I swear. Where like I'll have weeks where I do good, but then coincidentally I go against the one person that week that would have beat me. It's like the most infuriating thing ever. Like last year I had the most points against in our league, and it's like, what are you gonna do, man? Like, what? You can't do anything about that. It's brutal. And then I've had like some of my leagues where like the actual lowest scorer will like make it basically to the championship because for some reason they curse everybody they play against and somehow just win with like 70-point weeks. It's so dumb, man. Hey, man, a touchdown's a touchdown, Spidey. I mean, Tom Brady would throw, like, slants all the time, but people call him the GOAT. Tom Brady, I feel like anytime I watched him, he was just doing a check down or, like, just a really quick slant. Like, rarely I feel like I saw Tom Brady slinging it down the field. Maybe that's just, like, confirmation bias of some kind that I have. But that's what it felt like. I'm so glad he's out of the league, though. Oh. I got sick of losing to that man. To be fair, everyone did, though. That being said, the Miami Dolphins actually had not a winning record because, like, nobody did. But they had one of the best records against Tom Brady. Earlier we spoke of the downfall of Justin Tucker. Can we just speak of the downfall of Bill Belichick as well? And he's gotten like negative PR in the last few months. The last year. Oh, man. Whoa. Why didn't he just die? You know what's crazy? On most leagues, you can still draft Tom Brady. He's on waivers. One of the guys in one of my leagues took Tom Brady with his very last pick in the draft this year. Just as a joke. Nah, Tom Brady in today's league would probably be... I actually don't know how he'd be. Because there's even more protection for the QB, I feel like. I think it's the same argument that people make about Dan Marino. Like, that Dan Marino would just crush the league if he were to play today. Which I agree with a little more than Tom Brady. Because he did enjoy some special protection, I feel like. I think he'd still cook if he was in his prime. I don't know. I wish we could discover some, like, immortality drug. Then we could actually see who the best athletes of all time are, right? Imagine. That'd be so sick. We could still have, like, Wilt Chamberlain in his prime in the NBA. Prime Shaq. That would be so cool to see. How does fantasy football work? Jack, so basically, at the beginning of the football season, you have a draft, which is just like any normal, like, draft, I guess, you know? But you draft players from different teams. Offensive players. I think there are some, like, defensive player fantasy drafts, but people don't usually do that. Anyway, so you do that, and then depending on your league settings and stuff, because it's different for a lot of different people, then if that player does something in the game, they'll receive a point. So like, there's different formats and stuff, so I don't want to get too specific, but basically, if a player scores a touchdown, then they'll get a bunch of points, or if they catch a ball, they'll get points. And then depending on how many yards that person gains, they'll get points as well. And then you pretty much tally those all up after every game is played in a week. And then if you have more than your opponent, you win. So basically you just want to try and get as many people on your team that frequently get the ball, are involved in big plays, and are scoring touchdowns a lot. And that's just kind of how it goes. It's really fun. Like, it sounds a lot more confusing, I think, probably, than it actually is. But they don't even just have fantasy football. They have just, like, basketball and, like, soccer and stuff like that, I think. In my experience, though, fantasy football is probably one of the easier ones to keep track of. If you're doing basketball, since the games are played so frequently, you have to like constantly be changing which players you're playing for that week, which can be annoying. Yeah, man. No, I definitely recommend you get into it. If you're any sort of football fan, you'd really enjoy it. I'm honestly a little bit upset I didn't get into it, like, earlier. The first time I had played fantasy football was, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. Lions are in the end zone? Buns, dude. I also have Baltimore defense, but they're not going to be doing much. I didn't expect them to do much this week. If we could get a pick six, that would be super tight. Kind of great, dude. I feel like I have barely paid attention to MCOC, and we're already like halfway done with the arena. You want a Laporta? Dude, Laporta, I feel like, erupted his first year, and then since then, I feel like he hasn't been quite the guy. Yeah, fantasy is freaking fun. Dude, next year what we should do, because we'll probably, like, oh man, we'll probably have, like members or whatever it's called on YouTube. Like subscriptions and stuff. Maybe we could have like a subscriber only fantasy league or something. I don't know if people would be interested or not. Take that, bullseye. Who would have thought Goff would be the Lions franchise QB? Not me. Dude, like Jared Goff has been a solid quarterback for a while now, though. The thing with Jared Goff is he's historically not good if he plays in any sort of like weather. He kind of needs to play inside of a dome. I'm not saying he hasn't had good games outside of playing in a dome. But from anything I've seen, like if you compare his numbers playing in a dome, it's like night and day. He's so much better without inclement weather. I will say this week, I told one of the guys in one of my leagues, like, so we did our draft in person, right? and he was asking me like which tight end he should draft, and I was like, dude, take Hunter Henry. He'll have some pretty good weeks. And he went off for like 20 plus this last week, which is crazy. Yo, Widow, what's up, man? Stafford should have won one with Megatron, but the Lions were a terrible franchise. Honestly, still are? I don't know. They're not a terrible franchise. Not like they used to be. Not like they used to be at all. I think the culture shift has started to happen there. Do I think they'll win like a Super Bowl anytime soon? I'm not sure. Same old Lions. Yeah. No, I think Dan Campbell's got those guys like ready to go into battle. Which is kind of a bummer because he could have been the Miami head coach, but you know what? Whatever. Our GM sucks, so. Culture shift, but blows it. Yeah, but like the culture shift was like the fact they actually could get there, like in the first place. People forget just how bad the Lions were just a few years ago. Like almost not winning any games bad. Like they were Browns bad. And like teams blow leads in the NFL, it happens. He was an interim head coach, Travis. I don't exactly remember what he was before though. He had to have been an assistant of some kind though. It's kind of crazy. I think there's... I saw a graphic today. I think Ben Johnson used to be in Miami too. There are a couple current head coaches that used to be in Miami. The front office in Miami is just... It's a clown fiesta. In bid games, they revert back to their old selves. Yeah. 'Tis true. So do the Ravens, by the way. The Ravens are kings of choking games. Oh, 1-16, the perfect season. Yep. That's crazy to just like never win a game. Speaking of never winning a game, I hope the Miami Dolphins can pull that off. Because then they'll be in possession of both perfect seasons. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, they did, Spidey. I knew you'd mention that, man. Gotta lose big games to learn how to win. Hey, it's just a stepping stone. Trust the process, right? Nah, if Miami loses to the Jets, it's over. I mean, it's already over for the season, but it'll be more over. It went multiple seasons. That's true. Who was the team they finally beat to break the winless streak? I don't remember. You feel like you'd have to try to lose? I mean, Miami did technically with Flores. Apparently the owner was like basically telling the coach to lose games. Big point of controversy. But teams do try to lose 17 games, depending on how bad they are and how good the draft prospects are. So it's not unheard of. Oh, I wish Miami could have drafted Cam Ward, dude. That kid makes some pretty special plays. Nah, I don't think the Dolphins are bad enough to win or lose 17 games. Dude, Isophene is ridiculously tall, by the way. They beat the Redskins. Dude, were they still the Redskins in 2009? I guess they were, huh? Also, I know now they're the Commanders, but I kind of, like, really dug the football team as a team name. Like, right as I started to really like it and get used to it, it was like, nope, now they're the Commanders. They won 2 games against Washington. Cleveland. I mean, that makes sense. Like, 2 teams that haven't been good for a while. Cleveland is still kind of in the gutter, dude. Cleveland, dude, they murdered themselves, though, by the whole Deshaun Watson thing. He set that franchise back years. They paid him way too much. And then he, just to get, like, injured every year, basically. Honestly, like, based on, like, the accusations towards him and, like, things that he's allegedly done, he seems like a horrible human being. But man, what a job, right? You go out, you play an NFL game like once a year, just tear your shoulder or something, tweak an ankle, instant like 20 million for some reason because their contract sucks. Dude, you got it, WAP. You just gotta. But hey, the Browns defense is good. They beat the Packers somehow. That was a miracle. They had like a couple. So I think the most notable would be like Johnny Manziel, who never panned out and was like just a party guy. And then they also had Josh Gordon, who couldn't stop smoking weed, I think, or something like that. So he kept getting suspended. One day he shall be yours, Charles. One day. Yeah, Cleveland is, it's rough to be a Browns fan. Respect for anyone who actually sticks with that team, man. I know what it feels like, though. I know what it feels like. The Dolphins, I think, what? They have the longest active playoff win drought in the league now, I think. I think. It is. I wish they would like rotate some of those champions in, Charles. Especially if they're going to make them take so long to get because of the cooldown. WAP though, if you do hop back in the football game, what's gonna be your team of choice? I may have asked you that. I honestly don't remember anymore. There probably is, Travis. Like, Cleveland has been so bad, they just, like, had to study it, you know? Oh, the Seahawks. That's right. Well, they're okay this year. I don't think they're gonna go to the Super Bowl or anything, barring a miracle. But they should have a pretty decent, respectable year. They might make it as like a wild card team or something. I'm not exactly sure how their conference is looking right now. Dude, it's kind of funny in that special animation. Penny Parker kicks the defender. There's no way a kick from a little girl like that is going to be, like, hurt at all, right? You like the questions I put on polls? Thank you, Charles. Yeah, would you guys like me to continue doing those? I'm having a fun time making those polls up. I think they're fun. For the record, I think Human Torch should probably be the best at cooking an egg. That might be a hot take. I think there's a chance he could burn it, though. Like, I think in his, like, arc of learning how to cook an egg, he probably would have burned him a ton, but I think now he probably has that control, right? I think he could fry an egg to perfection. The one involving pizza? Yeah, that was a tricky one, dude. Like, actually, like, the more you think about it, because Venom is, like, always hungry, right? But then also Mojo is just like a tub of lard. So it's like, who would win? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that doesn't reach. You're kidding me. You think Mojo would win the pizza eating contest? Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it could be close. Never underestimate the symbiotes. I guess that's true, though. Like, is that the kind of food Venom would even want to be consuming a lot of? Also, thank you, Nick. This fight is gonna just take forever, isn't it? Yeah, dude, I hate Mr. Fantastic. Look at this willpower machine. Oh, can't remember how to get this guy's big damage. Is it like, I don't know, special 3 maybe? I hate his evade too. I hate everything about Mr. Fantastic. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I didn't want to evade. I wanted to parry. You voted Kingpin? I think Kingpin has a good tummy on him too. I bet he could slam some pizza. Oh yeah, that did pretty good damage. And now I have a Fury. that I won't be able to hit into him much with, though. If at all. Oh my gosh. I got like 4 hits with a Fury Rip. If toppings are included, you'd say Venom? Maybe. I think it's tough, man. It is tough. I like to imagine it would just be like pepperoni pizza. Because that's just like the most like standard good pizza out there. Also, if you're like, look, I know there are like cheese pizza lovers out there. I am not one of those people. My pizza needs like things on it, you know? Man, so many bleeds. Do I like Hawaiian pizza? I do not. I am not a fan of the pineapple on pizza. I do not. I know that's a very, very loaded, controversial topic for a lot of different people. I just don't feel like fruits should go on pizza. You know, it just feels like a crime against humanity to me. Buffalo chicken? Yeah, I've had some pretty good buffalo chicken pizzas. Generally, I just go all reliable, though. I'll just go pep. Maybe like meat lovers once in a while. It's like, honestly, Charles, I know a ton of people that like pineapple on pizza, bro. I promise you're not even close to alone as you may think you are. You're honestly not. The thing I don't like it is like I don't like when I'm eating a pizza and then I just get like a random burst of juice and like sweetness. It just ruins the consistency for me, you know? I like if you've had fruit pizzas, those are good. Like the dessert ones. Fruit pizza bangs hard, but it shouldn't like you should never be putting like that kind of stuff on with like red sauce and like pepperonis. But then like yeah, see, there you go. You have WAP on your team. Like there's a surprising amount of people that like it. And I think the last few years it has started to pick up a lot of steam. I will say I do like to do light red sauce on a lot of my pizzas. If I ever am custom ordering it, usually I just don't care enough and I'll just order a regular pepperoni. But dude, if I have too much red sauce, I have heartburn like the rest of the night and it's like the worst thing ever. Yeah. It's been around a while, WAP, but I feel like I don't know, maybe it's because I've just met a lot more people since then, but I feel like it wasn't near as popular back in the day as it is now. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever had a pizza with anchovies on it. That's kind of another thing I think is a little bit like I don't know, it sounds a little bit risky. I don't think I'd want to do that. Like I like fish and stuff like that, but On a pizza? Yeah, I don't know, man. Veggie pizza, ranch instead of red sauce. Dude, I need my meats on pizza. Although ranch instead of red sauce does kind of sound like it would be really good, though. There's like pizzas with like chicken, and then it's like, I don't know if it's like Alfredo sauce or whatever, but those pizzas are good. I think my favorite pizza that I've ever had, though, it was just a pepperoni pizza, right? But we ordered bacon on it. And they gave us like full strips of bacon on the pizza. It wasn't like bacon bits or anything. Oh, it was so good. So good. I knew it was kind of like a local pizza joint. Those are usually the best, I feel like, too. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, I will guilty pleasure Little Caesars all freaking day, you guys. But the local pizza, like ma and pa shops, they just hit different, you know what I mean? Artichoke? I think that one I have had. It's just not usually like my go-to. Hot honey? Okay. I've heard really good things about hot honey pizza. Have I had one? No, but I have heard that it's very good. Also, I don't know what I'm doing. This Medusa won't auto-block me anyways. In Boston? In Boston? They're called pies? Yeah, they call pizza pies. Pizza pie. Which always throws me off because when I think pie, I think like apple pie, pumpkin pie, cherry pie, Thanksgiving, you know? Pecan pie, even though dude, I actually hate pecan pie. Yeah, it's kind of gross. Buy a pepperoni pizza? Dude. I already ate dinner today, Wep. It's a pretty late time in the day to eat some za, I feel like. I'm not gonna lie though, it is making me kind of hungry. Mix a little sriracha with some honey and drizzle it over the za. Like homemade style? Okay, but here's my hang up with the hot honey thing is like when I tell you I hate spicy things, like I can't overstate that enough. I do not like things that are spicy. So like I feel like I probably would hate it. I've heard that it's good, but like from a lot of people. But anything like mildly spicy, I'm just like it ain't it. I was born with a palate that is incredibly sensitive, I guess. I don't know. Hot honey just reminds me of that weird trend we had, which I think we still kind of had, with like candy a while ago, where all these like candy companies were making spicy versions for some reason. Like we had like hot Jolly Ranchers, like hot gummy bears, and like hot Mike and Ike's or whatever, and stuff like that. That was a weird trend, man. And I gotta say, I was not a fan. The honey is sweeter than the spice. So we're talking like incredibly small amounts of spice. Maybe I could handle it too. Maybe I could handle it. If the spice adds more of just like a flavor tang of some kind, I don't know what other word to use, then maybe it would be worth it. But if there's any like actual spice at all, like anything that's gonna like make me say this is spicy or hot, it's a no-go for me, Chief. Dude, I can't do it. I get called a wuss boy all the time when it comes to spicy things. Honestly, no shame in it. But yeah, dude, I just, I've never done too well with spice. Do I like chips and salsa though? Yes. Yep, I do. But if it's like salsa that's not hot, some meat pizzas are spicy. Okay, so it's like that level. I could probably tolerate it. As long as we're not putting some like ghost peppers on there or anything, we might be okay. I have heard from a couple people, and I don't know if this is true or not. You guys might be able to tell me. But I've heard if you get some of those like bottles that are really tiny, and you guys know what I'm talking about. They're always like the super tiny bottles, but they're like the hottest like sauce basically ever. Like to the point where you like put a little bit on a toothpick and you're supposed to like mix it in with like a whole jar of regular sauce. That kind of hot. That if you like consume some of that, then you can just like basically build up a tolerance to like lesser spice. I don't know if that's like science or placebo or not. But I've heard some people tell me that's the truth. And I gotta say, like, there might be truth to it, but it might just be because you're like burning your taste buds. So that, yeah, of course you're gonna have a tolerance. You can't like taste anything. But I don't know, man. You took a drop of those when you were 18? So, and now you have like immunity to spice? You blacked out? Oh my gosh. That's wild, dude. Oh my. Maybe I'll never try that then. Or if I do, I'll make sure I have like a bed behind me or something. That's crazy, dude. You have to eat it over time? So you like build up like a gradual tolerance then, Jack? Hey, who do I want to use against Nick Fiore? Who cares? Because like genuinely, I like legit, like I want to know like why, like what's so good about a lot of spicy things. Because to me, anytime I have something spicy, it's like it's just there to make the food spicy. It's not there to like make the food taste better, you know? Like that's my thing. Like if making something hot also made it taste like significantly better, then I would be a lot more inclined to like try and push past it. But at least for me, anything spicy I've ever had, it just detracts entirely from the dish. And it's like, this would have been perfect if there were not jalapenos in it or something. Like it's literally just spicy to say that it's spicy. I don't get it. I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't know. I'm probably a little bit uncultured, you know? Like, maybe if I went to, like, South American countries where they put spice on a lot of things down there, maybe I would finally see the light. I don't know. Yo, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? Because, like, I don't know. Maybe they, like, know the strats. Maybe I just, like, don't know where to get the good stuff, you know? I have had some, like, homemade ghost chili salsa before. But I think it was, like, kind of watered down to the point where I wasn't getting, like, the full ghost pepper effect. Fab, you're from South America, but you agree with me? So, okay, so you are also an anti, like, hot things guy. You think a little spice helps open your taste buds so you can taste everything better? Maybe? But, like, couldn't you get... I don't know, man. I can't say I've ever had that experience. And, like, I don't... Like, I legitimately, I don't know, like, if I'm just going to the wrong places or what, but, like... I feel like I've never... like, been to a place where I can honestly be like, okay, I'm glad they made that spicy. I don't know. You got Cosmic? Ooh, Charles. It's a good class. It's a good class. Oh, wait, why am I trying this? He's incinerated me and it's not going to matter. I don't know, man. Maybe, like... that would be a fun experiment to try. Maybe I could make, like, an entire YouTube vlog about it. Document my experience trying to understand spicy things. It's like, I'm open to it, man. I love food, and if I can make food taste better, I'm for it, you know? In fact, I probably love food a little too much if we're being honest with each other. What's up, Samael? Jamaican jerk chicken? I don't know if I've had Jamaican jerk chicken or not. If I have, it wasn't an experience I either wanted to remember or that I just remember it all. I know it's pretty popular though. Anyway, Samuel, we're just talking about spicy things right now and food to catch you up on the conversation. And I'm basically telling everybody I'm a gigantic wuss boy when it comes to all things spicy, but also that I've never really quite understood, like, what a food being spicy actually adds to a dish. So that is my current, like, conundrum. And then now you're caught up. Earlier we were talking about pineapple on pizza, but I think that conversation might be gone now. But if you wanted to weigh in, you're more than welcome. It is a very charged issue. Also, again, if you guys are enjoying the stream, if you could go ahead and like it, that would be awesome. And then subscribe if you're not already. Like I always say, man, YouTube is really sneaky and they'll show you like my channel and stuff on it, whether you're subscribed or not. So if you could just go ahead and like double check that for me, that would be awesome. Yeah, Samael's on my team. Oh, check my Discord for the full story on the hot sauce. Okay, I will after this these arena matches, Wep. You know what's crazy though? Like, not quite on the subject that we're talking about, is that like humanity has like engineered different kinds of peppers just to see exactly how hot we can make it. That's really cool. Like, I remember reading a while back, the military was making like a basically a pepper spray grenade. I don't know if it ever like saw use or the battlefield. I just saw that it was like a thing. But basically they were trying to like bioengineer peppers to make them as hot as they possibly could, and then they would like distill that into a grenade, which is awesome. You just got to get those capsaicin levels up, you know? You're a fellow pineapple pizza enjoyer until you tried one that you didn't like, so you stopped ordering it? Dude, food aversions are an interesting thing. They put hot sauce when they don't like the dish, so it makes it better. See, that just feels like, hey, yeah, we made a dish with no flavor, so we need to add something with flavor. But I feel like you could easily substitute anything for hot sauce in that situation. And like technically you'd have more flavor than you started with, you know? But I get like you could just throw ketchup, and actually there are people that do this. Like you could just add ketchup to anything and you're giving it flavor just the same. Like, I don't know. Or like salt, pepper. And there's a bunch of different like herbs and seasonings out there that would actually probably make things taste better than like hot sauce would. At least I feel. Alright, let's read the hot sauce lore. What do we got, WAP? What do we got? Discord will open. Oh, okay, okay. WAP, are you okay? You're okay if I read this story on stream, right? Just because you privately DM'd it to me. I don't want to, like, air your dirty laundry or anything. But yeah, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I'm not making the claim or anything that, like, my opinion is correct, you know? Because everybody has completely different taste buds depending on what you grew up eating and what your mother ate while you were in the womb. Like, there's a bunch of different, like, variables to things. So, like, that may just be something I can never actually comprehend, you know? But, like, dude, there's probably people out there that, like, put mustard in everything, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe hot sauce triggers. Yeah, or, like, if it's hot enough, Fab, and the food is just terrible, you can just numb your tongue taste buds, so you just can fight through it, right? Okay, here's the WAP hot sauce lore. He's visiting his dad, and his cousin was having a party. He had a toothpick and said, "Try this hot sauce." As you were running out of breath from the heat, he explained it was 4 times hotter than what was allowed in game shows. Proceeded to give you a glass of the party juice, which was basically liquor, to help with the heat. Around 2 minutes later was your memory of that night. You woke up the next morning with a bucket on your head in your dad's shed. Dang, dude, they bullied the crap out of you, man. It almost feels like they drugged you, bro, and then just like put you in a shed. That's messed up. But yeah, dude, some of those hot sauces are no joke, man. Like, they could, like, if you dump them on your skin, I think, like, they can just, like, legitimately burn your skin. Like, you can't even touch them. You have to, like, use gloves. Like, I think in some, like, factories where that stuff is made, they probably legit have to wear, like, hazmat suits. Because you probably can't have it, like, any of the fumes in your lungs at all. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but I think it is. What's up, Big Sheep? Welcome in, man. Sriracha in the eye? That would not be fun. Getting anything in your eye is not fun, though. Like, yeah, it's just, even, like, little hairs, right? Like, little eyelashes. When they're in your eye, it's, like, the worst thing ever. Derrick Henry fumbled? Dude, why couldn't that have been Lamar? Derrick Henry fumbling is not a very common thing, but he's done it twice this year already. pretty concerning, I'd say, for the old man. Maybe Father Time is catching up to him. Probably not, though. He'll probably rip off like 4 touchdowns next week. And then he'll play until he's 50. Oh yeah, WAP. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Once you get into those like levels of hot sauce, it's like a small little bit is all you need to just completely like nuke any sort of dish or like sauce you put it in. Like some of them, it's like 1 drop per like 4 gallons and it'll still be really hot. It gets pretty bonkers, dude. Scream, Sim, Crossbones, or Zola? Who should be your next rank 2? Or should you rank 5 CGR? So, I think you should rank 5 CGR eventually. I don't think that would be necessarily my priority right now. Just because CGR's damage is already pretty crazy, but honestly, like mine's maxed out and I rarely use him. I don't know if I'm the only one or not. He's still good. I think he still has his place, but I don't think he's as good in like the newer things as he used to be personally. I have never used Scream, so I can't really give you input on that account, although I can say I have heard a lot of good things about Scream, so that wouldn't be a bad rank up. If your Crossbones is Awakened as well as High Sig, that would be a really good awaken or a really good rank up. Crossbones does kind of need like High Sig, so keep that in mind. And then Zola, if you need defensive Battlegrounds champions, he's not really a guy you're going to be using offensively, so like if you really need defense in Battlegrounds, he's still pretty good. He's fallen off a little bit with some of the newer champions that have come out, but he can still be okay if you get the right matchup. And then Superior Iron Man is really good. He can be kind of tricky. You have to intercept a lot with him, but he's a really solid champ. So if like definitely Crossbones, I think if he's like max sig, but if he's not like max sig or just like really high sig, I would probably lean Scream or Superior Iron Man personally. I wish that I had a Scream that I could actually like give input about it. She can be a decent defensive champ in a pinch too, so maybe there's that to think about. Yeah, I don't know that there's like a conclusive winner there, unless Crossbones is max sig, at least for me. Yeah, that's just like WAP. That's I don't know. That's just like one. I think the resources would be better spent for another champ personally, but that's like kind of the circumstance where I'd say it's worth maybe a rank up at some point, but I don't know that I would like make it my priority to counter a single champ. You know. What's up, Garvit? So yeah, sorry that wasn't a very like definitive answer, Nick. Superior Iron Man or Scream. That's who I would vote for. If there's a champion there you like more than the other one, then you could go with them. Yeah, I would probably go Scream, but again, like that's me only giving advice on like things I've heard, not things I've experienced personally. You took Bastion to rank 4? My man. Solid rank 4, man. Mine will get there eventually, I think. You face a deck with 30 rank 4s? Oh my gosh. AI didn't throw a special. You ate a special 3. You know what, though, Aaron? I admire you. You know why? because you ate the special 3 instead of pausing, which is what some people would have done in that situation. And it sounds like that could have maybe won you the game if you paused, but big respect. Anyway, that's a bummer. That also just goes to show, like, just because you're a blubbery boy, you know, you spend a lot in the game, does not guarantee that you win. So, play out every Battlegrounds match. Don't forfeit just because somebody's roster is stacked, because they might not actually be that good at the game. Or you could just have like a generational run, right? Where you just like are cooking everything. That can happen. Both Carolina dupes. Yikers. Yeah, duping once, good. Duping twice, less good, I will say. But who are you still missing, Sheep, like from the Titan? Congrats on 9.3 exploration, by the way. 31-24. Okay, so it's time for Lamar to throw an interception, is what you're telling me. He's gonna try and, like, get the Ravens down the field. Maybe make a throw he shouldn't. This is what we need. Oh, give me a 7-star clairvoyant, please. Whoa. Dude, took her shield down in a single belly bump. That's crazy. Oh, I hope so, Spidey. Hoping like there's no hoping ever as big as my hope currently. Or ever has been. I don't. You're missing Nico, Okoye, Jean, and Spider-Woman first time dupes would be nice too. Are you planning to open some more sheep, or are you going to save now until the next rollover? Honestly, I should just max out my 6-star photon, man. I'm never gonna get her as a 7-star anyway. Monica Rambeau. That is true, Aaron. Like, you could do worse. You could have gotten, like, extra SIGs on Falcon, which aren't really necessary. And I'm assuming you probably hate Falcon because everyone does. The Ravens are going to punt? How late in the game is it? Is it, like, not even fourth quarter yet? I kind of figured it would be like fourth quarter, maybe the last drive of the game or something. Also, guys, we did cross the viewership goal for the stream, so everybody go ahead. Give yourselves a crisp high five. Thank you for supporting the stream. You guys are awesome. As always, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Truly do. Fourth quarter, 5 minutes? I wouldn't punt, dude. It sounds like Detroit is like, because you know they're going to go for it on fourth, right? Like, they're going to try and run the clock out the rest of the way. That's just the way Detroit operates. I would be surprised if you didn't go for it on 4th if you're Baltimore. Unless you're like backed up to your own 10 or something like that. Then I obviously wouldn't. Smart, Aaron. Smart. Is it that bad, Wolverine? Is it the meta going on right now, or is there just a lot of really like big whale accounts in there? But yeah, Aaron, I like the old reverse psychology. I will say I tried that with maxing out my 6-star Spider-Ham. Still not working for me, man. Still not working for me. Maybe one day, though. I kind of, yeah, that's kind of what Detroit does pretty well. Spidey. Honestly, yeah, like before she was in the Titan, Aaron, like there were a ton of people, like high-level battlegrounds, using 6-star Nico, just because she's so good that her rarity is like less important compared to a lot of other champions. Like it's worth it for the champions that she counters, you know? Oof. Yeah, that would be awful. Just like rank 4s over and over again. I'm not even in Vibranium yet, and I'm not even looking forward to Vibranium. Truthfully, like, not wailing out in this game makes Battlegrounds feel really punishing sometimes. Keegan... That's a tricky question. Like, if you're asking me if he's like a meta rank up, I would say no. If you really like the champion, I will say yes. But there are better champions in the science class, in my opinion, that would probably give you more value. That being said, like, Spider-Man's not a bad champion at all. He doesn't really get the love he deserves. Like, he can do pretty big damage. It's nice that he's like an unstoppable counter and all that stuff. But is he like better than Spider-Woman or Count Nefaria? No, I wouldn't say so. But he can hit some pretty big numbers. In fact, if you want to see some of those big numbers, if you want to hop in my Discord, which is in the video description, there's actually somebody, I think today, that posted OG Spider-Man pulling in some big numbers in our MCOC chat channel, so you may want to give that a look if you have Discord. Yeah, Wolverine, it feels like I only see forfeits if I like wait to push to Gladiator Circuit until towards the end of the season, and then people forfeit a lot because people are where they should be already. Yeah, I think gone are the days where, I don't know. It's really hard to be free to play or free to play adjacent in Battlegrounds. You can make Glad Circuit, but if you want to get Celestial or something, I think you're going to have a pretty rough time. So yeah, Keegan, I definitely recommend hopping in the Discord and looking at that. That might, like, give you an idea of, like, things that OG Spider-Man is capable of. Speaking of Spider-Woman. Agreed, Jack. The only thing holding Scorp back is he's rarity locked so far. For some reason. No, Scorpion is an actual baller. Yeah, Torch I think would be there if, like... But the thing is, like, there's not a lot of people that have Torch as a 7-star. That's why, like, personally... Do I think, like, he's probably up there? I think he probably is. I just try not to include him whenever anyone asks, because, like... Unless they were a big spender, they probably don't have a 7-star Torch anyway. But yeah, you could definitely throw Silk in there. Science class is pretty strong all around, honestly. It's in a pretty good spot right now, I think. Oh, that doesn't reach. Got her. I will say, if you're using OG Spider-Man, make sure you have points in Despair, or you're gonna have a hard time. Skill is lacking, Jack. My theory was that maybe, like, skill has been underwhelming for so long because we knew Mr. Knight was going to be coming soon, but he looks kind of underwhelming to me, I'm not gonna lie. And I was thinking he would just, like, boost up the skill ceiling so high, but it does not appear that that is how it's gonna be. Dude, we actually get to use Patriot for his, like, perfect counter. Holy cow. You could argue Anti-Venom in there too, for sure. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, there's a lot of good champs in the science class. I mean, we all know the true GOAT is Falcon. Joaquin Torres, but everyone else, like, pretty competitive. But hey, the skill class still has Nick Fury. He's still really good. At least they have that going for him, you know? That's actually crazy, though. Like, that he's such an old champion, but he's still probably one of the best skill. The buff for Falcon better be good. I'm assuming you're talking about Falcon. I think it'll probably be good. I personally think Falcon's okay as is. So any, like, increased change to his kit will be a welcome one. Nah, dude. No, that's just untrue, Aaron. Maybe, like, defensively, I'll grant it, but... Plus. Well, Venom the Duck's not a science champ, Spidey. I was just talking about science champions. Rhino buff is the GOAT. Dude, that's another champion, right? You can't get 7-star Rhino yet, right? I don't think you can. That's so weird. They announced like the Rhino buff, and then they also announced the Yondu buff. Neither of which you can actually get as 7 stars right now. Makes me think they're preparing to sell them. Perhaps in a certain cyber sale that happens on Monday. I don't know. Just a thought. Oh, this is taking forever because he takes no bleed damage. I don't know if I'll even be able to take him down, man. Do you think Banquet, Jack? It could be Banquet. I could, personally, I think I probably see them in Cyber Monday more than Banquet. Although, I don't know. Dude, I actually don't know if I can kill him. It's actually tragic. Yeah, Breach is annoying. Why did it have to be Breach? Why couldn't it just be... Oh no, we actually got him. Why couldn't it be Crush? Why did we have to make a new debuff? Or buff or whatever? Yeah, it could be that, Aaron. But we already have Captain Britain, so I feel like it would be something else. Because she was like in the pass. And I don't think any of the champions from last year's banquet were in the Plat Pass. Are you gonna attack me or what? There we go. Not sure people want Rhino in Cyber Monday. Not as he is. There's a lot of people not liking Rhino. You're predicting they're building a roster for the Gifted Guardians type thing this year? It could be. It could be. They definitely have to be doing something. It would be very unlike Kabam to put that much work into revamping champions just to be like, yeah, but actually, you know what? Like, you're not going to be able to get them. That just like wouldn't make any sense at all. They got to make money, you know? Got to keep the lights on. That being said, I don't even know if I would want to really like chase any of those guys to get them on my roster. Maybe Yondu. But I don't think I would have any care in the world for Rhino. And then I got Captain Britain from the Plat Pass. Oh, I forgot he purifies the parry. Whoopsie. Man, my hands are sweating like a sinner in church. That does make me wonder though, like if that is correct, Aaron, I wonder who the other like champions will be. Dude, you know what we need? We need a 7-star Miles Morales. Whoever's a skill rework better be good. Dude, let's be honest. It'll probably be like Black Panther for the 80th time. I feel like no matter what, like I feel like always are reworking Black Panther. Oh, welcome in, by the way, Vega. Sorry, Yondu for tech, think for science, picture for skill. Maybe. Redwood, the 7-star Doc Ock. Yeah, there was, I think Sane was in here the other day, and he was saying the same thing. Dude, I hate the spacing on his heavy. It drives me mad, dude. I know he doesn't. I'm just saying, like, I feel like they always are, like, adjusting Black Panther. I think it's more just, like, confirmation bias than anything. Yeah. Stealth Suit Spidey? It could be. Could be. Wow, that does nothing. I got it. Dude, can we ban Arnim Zola from Arena asking for a friend? Alright, I'm just gonna take the L here. You know what? I don't even care. What? No, he freaking sleeped me mid-windmill? Are you kidding me? That's so sad. Yeah, I did end up with Black Panther Civil War at the end of Banquet. I rarely use him, though. But I think if he was rank 4, he could get some fights done pretty quick. Dude, we're in the deathmatch area of Arena. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Well, let's sacrifice Symbiote Supreme to the altar of Bullseye. Ban Dark Phoenix? I feel like... Sheep, I actually feel like I never see Dark Phoenix in Arena. let's just make it only Kang and Thanos teams. That's what we need. Yeah, there was a time I thought about ranking my Black Panther. That time never actually, like, came to fruition, though. Just when you think a game's over, Spidey. Yeah, dude, I really want a 7-star Miles Morales. I think he's fun. His, like, spider camo is annoying, too. And that did not do as much damage as I'd hoped. Yeah, the Night Thrasher was definitely a move. Dang, I actually won that? That's crazy. I would be a good lineup, Redwood. Especially that Scorpion. That would go so hard. They recovered an onside? That's crazy, dude. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. No, wait. Baltimore tried to onside. Sorry. I'm assuming, based on how you worded it, I thought, like, Detroit had the lead and they kicked an onside anyway. And I was like, bro, that is psychotic. Lions won. Good. Good. That's actually wild. The Ravens are 1 and 2. Sabretooth is a baller, dude. Best mutant in the game. I think a good candidate for rework, and I've said it a couple times on stream, I think Abomination would be a solid rework candidate as well. Because he just basically does nothing other than cause poison, and it's not even like a big poison either. And then on top of that, like, think about it, yo. Like, Abomination is supposed to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Hulk, right? Like, the Hulk. He should be a strong champion, no? Like, but instead he hits like a wet noodle, and, like, there's nothing in his kit. And, like, I understand we can't make everybody lore accurate. Otherwise, there would be no balance in the game. But come on, man. Give my boy Abomination some love. He's also, like, an incredibly old champion. And it would be cool to see him, like, have a chance to shine. Dude, 7-star Psycho Man would be miserable. He can be so annoying. You can't kick an onside when you're in the lead? I didn't know that was a thing. See, an OG Abomination rework would go incredibly hard. Use him plus Red Guardian for poison 200% node. What does that synergy do? I'm not familiar. I don't have Red Guardian, so not at a 7-star rarity at least. Yeah. And yeah, it's just like there's no reason to use Abomination for anything. Even if you're like progressing the game. Obviously, we wouldn't really, other than like for a synergy. And then also, like, it goes without saying, and I beat this drum all the time as well, Doctor Strange had half of the contest for the champion rework vote. Dude, Doctor Strange deserves, like, to be returned to his former glory, or at least, like, reworked or buffed in some way. The player base still loves Doctor Strange. Okay? We can't ignore him. He applies poisons from his attacks. Oh, gotcha. Spidey isn't an alliance WAP. I'll just answer for him. I don't know if it's one he'd be willing to leave, though. I would guess not. They plan to buff a Russian character, but pulled it after the real world stuff. That would make sense. A lot of poisons. It sounds like the poisons are like on par with the Agent Venom synergy team. Which, by the way, oh my gosh, imagine if that was base kit. That, dude, sometimes I've seen the question posed, like, which synergy, if it was base kit, would break the champion? If you added all the synergies together that make Agent Venom an absolute debuff machine, that would break the game. Dude, a 7-star Purgatory user, I'm jealous. Buff Ghost Rider, next Doctor Strange, next Dormammu. Yes, Dormammu needs a buff too. I 100% agree. Dormammu is a pushover. It is kind of fun being able to, like, basically permanently power lock if you really want to. It's not like the most effective thing in the world, though. That is true, Redwood. I'm excited for those reworks, man. Like, dude, we all knew Ghost Rider was going to win. I don't even think that was in question, dude. I would get the occasional, like, Winter Soldier voter in here. Like, a couple of my friends voted for him. But, I mean, we all knew he was not going to win. cool fiery skeleton head man, of course he's gonna win. Of course. Dude, WAP, no, you guys are gonna be ranked #1, believe. You're gonna do it. You have a rank 5 ascended OG A-bomb. Charles, that's awesome, man. I would expect nothing less, though. Big damage. Fire the special, I dare you. Oh, I wonder if we're gonna get a Power Sting immune champion ever. That feels like it's something that's got to be coming in the near future, right? Yay, my least favorite champion in the game. Oh, cool. I guess I don't light intercept because miss. But I get to fight her with MCOC, who is like the GOAT of offense. As we all know. Don't throw it. Don't throw it. Dude, that Enchantress code is some rigged level-ish, I'm telling you. It's a total scam. You know what? We're gonna commit. I don't think she survives. Yeah. Nah, Spidey, don't do it. You're gonna burn yourself out. I don't think it's worth. Gladiator Hulk? Maybe. I would have a harder time seeing that since Hulk got a buff. And like Gladiator Hulk still has like niche use, you know? I mean, he used to be like the guy for Bane. I know that. And he's still kind of annoying enough to feel like warrant like leaving as is. Yeah, dude, I am not winning that fight unless I could like dex every special by Bullseye, and I can't. We're gonna do our best though. Give it the old college try, chat. Enchantress, Serpent, Zola team. Yeah, honestly though. Throw Bullseye in there. Oh, I didn't even notice he was at a full bar. Rip me. Bullseye is Power Sting immune at SIG 200? Oh wait, well, I like not by definition like Power Sting immune, but I think functionally he would be. I don't know how often that would come in like handy. But yeah, I think you're right. I didn't even think about that. No, I'm not unstoppable anymore. Rip. Oh. Yeah, Redwood, I do get to the point where I just know the death match is coming for me. And I'm gonna lose the streak eventually anyways. I can, if I have my full, like, 7-star roster all refreshed, I can do, like, an infinite streak, but when it's, like, the second arena of the day, I can't start off that high. Or, like, I can't keep it going. I don't know, like, the exact formula for the infinite streak. Like, maybe I probably could. If I did some things. But I don't like moving my roster around and stuff to try and like take a 6-star or whatever. I just like to do quick fill and keep a move on. No, I think we should buff Serpent, you guys. Like, if we're talking about champions that are really hurting right now in the contest, I think Serpent definitely needs help. That dude, that's another point I try and, like, really sound like a broken record on, dude. He needs help. I don't think, like, Serpent does near enough. I think he needs more utility. I'm thinking we should give Serpent a phase mechanic. Kitty Pride-esque. Maybe like every time he fires a special one, he goes invis for like 10 seconds or something. Then maybe he'd be relevant. The Serpent dude, I just don't think he's good enough. Dude, we're gonna lose the streak. I don't know how it's still going. It's actually a miracle. Oh, we're cooked. Maybe cooked? Yeah, no, we're cooked. Also, can I just say I love the name Ace McDougal? It's really funny to me. Did I drop my block there, or does he have like unblockable mediums that I forgot about? Come on, don't do that. Come on. Man, there goes a lot of my damage. Jack, I think, personally, I think Arena should just be like random bot teams, like random AI teams that Kabam makes. It gets kind of annoying. Like, there's an argument to be made back in the day that, like, Arena was a PvP mode, right? Like, okay, I think a couple things should be done with Arena, okay? Mainly, I really think your opponent's masteries should not apply in Arena. And the reason for that is because it's not a PvP mode. It's not like people are like going out of their way to make their masteries annoying in Arena, like, and also like we have so many problematic defenders in the game now that like it's already hard enough to like fight those champions. We don't need to also give them basically mini nodes, which is like what some masteries can be. And then like there's no way I know if an opponent I am facing has stand your ground or like Mystic Dispersion. I have no idea. And so I don't know like which fights I should and shouldn't take. It's annoying. And it's like, it makes no sense because Arena is just like not the strategic thing. It just, I don't think it's like PvP at all. So I just like that bothers me. And then like I said, you know, there are a lot of problematic defenders too. And so that's why I think like maybe just having AI teams or have the infinite streak, which is where you do get the AI teams, like be easier to attain. I think that would be good. But at the end of the day, I really don't know that they would change anything like that about Arena because like Arena is where you can farm units, which is the most valuable currency in the game. And I don't think Kabam really wants you to be able to do that effectively in the first place, so I highly doubt any change like that would ever happen. But for my own sake, as an arena grinder, boy, do I wish those things were not in the game. It is bothersome. Because, like, dude, okay, before I had Despair, here's another, like, example of why I think the mastery thing is stupid. Before I had the Despair mastery on, if I took OG Spider-Man into a fight, like, it could just take forever, right? Or, like, insert champion that causes a lot of debuffs here, you know? Because, like, your opponent would just heal infinitely, basically, from willpower. And it was, like, the worst. I just, dude... It makes an already somewhat boring grind. Again, it's not boring because I have an awesome chat to talk to. A little bit more boring, you know? Yo, what's up, LK? Redwood, you're not ready for the Steelers to face the Lions offense? Yeah, Pittsburgh, dude, it's kind of interesting. Pittsburgh usually has a pretty good defense, but it has not looked that way this year. So yeah, I just hate that, like, you get death matches in Arena where, like, you just know your streak is cooked and you, like, can't do anything about it. And then I think, like I said, like, I think masteries and stuff contribute to that. Also, welcome in, Jaden. Mystic. No hablo español. Lo siento. I don't even know if that's Spanish, to be honest. That could be like Portuguese or something, but I'm just going to assume it's Spanish. They're both very similar. Or it could, dude, it could even be French. Like, French can read sometimes like Spanish. I will say there is like one happy coincidence, and that is it has gotten me a lot better at fighting the annoying champions. So there's that. But some matchups, like, you're just bound to lose. Did I see how? I have no idea who that is. No clue who that is, Mystic. Does anybody in, can anybody in chat help? I'm unable to Google right now. I'm not. Maybe someone else in the chat is looking for an alliance. A European football thing? Okay, gotcha. Are we? We're talking like football as in like soccer, right? I'm assuming. Wasn't there like some soccer related news lately? I think so. No, no. My bad. My bad. Leave me alone. I didn't know how many hits Killmonger had on his special attack. Whoa, what do the 15 grayed out bleeds mean on Nick Fury? Is that a Killmonger thing that I don't know? Probably. You're from Mexico. But no, I'm not interested personally. Someone else could be. From Mexico. Yeah. Lo siento. Mi español es mal. My Spanish is from like the 6th grade. No, the 7th grade. Yeah. I do like the Spanish language though. I would like to learn how to speak Spanish better. I just don't have like an environment around me to really like practice it, and I learn better if I'm like actually like immersed in it. I'm not like a Duolingo kind of guy, you know? Or I can just do like my daily Duolingo or whatever and learn a language. In Gringolandia. Yeah. But by assume you mean the Americas, then yes. Oh, dang it, I was not paying attention to the screen. I think we may be cooked now. OG Thanos? Dude, I don't know if they'd ever rework those kinds of trophy champs. I would hope so, though. That would be cool. Oh, I'm so dead. Yeah, especially when I missed the decks on that. Rip. Spanish was needed to pass high school? Wait, for you? I didn't need to take a foreign language. That's crazy. I did, though, because I think it would be cool. And there's, like, tons of Spanish speakers in the States. I remember a surprising amount of Spanish from just, like, a couple years in, like, junior high and, like, high school. Which is kind of crazy, actually. For how long it's been, like, I don't know if it's because of how my Spanish teacher did it, but he made it so when we were in the classroom, we could only speak Spanish. Like, there was no English allowed. And that's why I say, like, I think the immersion really helped me, because I got actually pretty good at Spanish to the point where if I feel like I had, like, taken that guy's class for, like, a couple more years, I could have actually had a shot, but... Gringos? See? Yeah, I know the gringo nickname, I guess, or title. I wear it with pride. But dude, my thing was, man, like, I grew up with a pretty good amount of Spanish speakers around. And they'd always, like, sit at the lunch table together and they'd be speaking Spanish. And honestly, like, I think my biggest drive for, like, wanting to learn Spanish was so that I could see if they were ever talking about me. I know that sounds really, like, shallow or whatever, but I was like, dang it, how come you guys get this, like, secret language that, like, nobody knows but you guys? It's so unfair. But when I was in Spanish class, I could, like, maybe pick out bits and pieces if they were ever talking about me, you know? So that was kind of fun. Oh, he's unblockable. Whoop. Oh my gosh, dude. Why? When did the Shang-Chi AI get so cracked? What? It was like wombo comboing me. Oh my gosh. You used to have French? We had Spanish and German. You can speak a little Portuguese. You have a hard time with English? Yeah. Inglés is very weird. Inglés es difícil. Difícil aprender. I think that's learn, if I remember right. Whenever a Spanish speaker comes into the chat, I try to say something in Spanish. But I'm not very good at it. English is a good language to know, though, if you're from out of country. You'd be surprised, like, from what I understand, like, English is taught, like, almost around the world. It's crazy. Just because there's so many, like, travelers all the time that speak English. A lot of countries have it as a second language, and they are pretty good at it. Languages are cool, man. I wish I was one of those people that could, like, learn, like, 8 languages. Yeah, the thing that I struggle with the most in Spanish is where you put the adjective. Just like where you, how you, like, order sentences, basically. That was my biggest adjustment. Like some words in Spanish as well, like conjugation can be really confusing. Whether you're using something in the past or present tense. I mean, like in English, we have like the same thing, but just like English, Spanish has some words that like are formatted a little bit differently. And they're just kind of an exception to a rule. That's what really throws me in Spanish a lot. You'd speak Spanish better if you could roll your R's. You just gotta practice. Roll the R's. Burrito. Oh, I'm dead. I'm big dead. American English, Caribbean English, Europe and Australia English. Yeah, there's so many different types. Dude, and what's crazy too is you can go to parts of like Ireland, right? And they're speaking English, but they're speaking it with such a heavy accent, you have no idea what they're saying. Like, if you haven't seen it, you should look it up. There's like a news broadcast video of a guy in Ireland talking about his sheep or something. And it's with such a heavy Irish accent, it's like actually impossible. I have never visited. I have not, Mystic. Mi familia has. Pero no me. No yo. Or yo, no. I don't know. So, something like that. It's hard doing the orders of stuff. Alright. Get all the units, dudes. All the units. How close? Am I close to a basic at all, I wonder? Nope. Bummerama. If I plan to visit, check the states of Mexico carefully. Be summer dangerous? Yes. I've had a couple people go down to Mexico, and they've told me you have to avoid certain areas because of like the cartels and stuff. I think if I went to Mexico, I would want to do it like through a cruise or something. Basically, Jack, I think you probably could just like look that up. Like you can look up, there's a lot of vacation kind of websites that can tell you places you could stay away from just because of like crime rates and stuff. People getting jumped on the highways. Yeah. Mexico's not all that bad. Well, I mean, it's not that bad everywhere. Like, there's good places and there's bad places, at least from what I understand. But obviously, you know, negative press is going to spread faster than any sort of like positive press. Tulum, Veracruz, Puebla, and Monterrey. I think my family went to Veracruz. I think that's where my parents went. It's pretty, I think. I'm gonna look up some pictures really quick. Hold on. Yeah, like that looks dope. Veracruz. Right by the water. Anyways. A lot of drug trafficking. Safe to be careful. Just look for safe places and someone who knows you. Yeah. I think like if you can get a tour guide of some kind too, that's probably best, right? Yeah, I would never go alone. Especially if you're a woman. That is true, Jack. That is true. Although I don't know that the quality is going to be as like trustworthy as in the States. I've heard of a lot of people, they'll go down to Mexico with just like a few $1,000s and they'll get like basically every cosmetic surgery under the sun, and it's incredibly affordable. Oh my gosh, I have a reunion crystal. Let's go. Yeah, Mexico can be pretty dangerous at times. But again, I think like, oh my gosh, we're opening crystals tonight. Yeah! Ooh boy, and we get a full energy refill. Let's go. That's big. Yeah, we're cracking that open right now. I do want to go to Mexico at some point. I think a lot of people down there are so, like, a lot of, like, people from Mexico that I've met are incredibly nice. Like, incredibly nice. I would love to go down there and on a vacation sometime. A small town of Italians. If you, Madrid, Spain. That'd be cool. Spanish from Spain is fun because they do, like, the th, like corazón instead of corazón. 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 More dangerous over here. We see more videos of things happening over there. I don't know, I think the States are still... Listen, it's easy to think that the United States is a horrible place to be. But that's because the media knows what gets clicks. You know what I mean? Like, things are not as bad as you may think they are. Like, if, for an example... And this, honestly, I shouldn't talk about this on stream. Maybe I won't. Okay, you know what I will? If you deep dive into the numbers, right? And I don't want, first off, I don't want anyone in chat to expand on this, okay? I just want to talk about it, and we're going to leave it at there, okay? There is the wide belief that there are school shootings in America happening literally all the time, 24/7. They never stop. They just keep going. However, if you deep dive into the data, at least from what I have understood, and I've watched a few videos related to it, I've done some research. Admittedly, I'm not an expert. But the data seems to suggest, yes, the USA does have a disproportionately high amount of school shootings compared to other countries, but they do not happen near as frequently as what the news may lead you to believe. That your odds of being in a school shooting are still incredibly low. But if you just watch the news, you would think like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to school. And that's like, because that's what the media preys on. Like, that's how it is. Like, right? They're obviously going to cover stories like that, and they're going to focus in on them and try to push a specific narrative. And so I think that leads to a lot of people thinking the States are more dangerous than they are, because, like, that's just one example. But, like, they'll also focus on plenty of other like evil things. But like if you really zoom out and actually assess the data just does not suggest that it's as big of a problem as they want you to think it is. But I mean, that's all I'll say on the matter. I know that's a very touchy political subject. I'm just using that to make my point that like things are not as depressing and sad as you may think they are. And I know that may like rub some people the wrong way, but just kind of how it is. Oh, dude, I thought I was going to roll over to Patriot. Yeah, yeah, sorry, Mystic. That got a little bit like wordy and stuff. In New Orleans, you have one of the highest murder rates in the country. There are definitely like concentrated areas that are like disproportionately like a lot of like, crime happens there, but that's like anywhere. Rip, no Spider-Ham, I know. Just 5 stars, bro. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, I think like Chicago is higher crime rate. There's a lot of like it's always those really densely packed cities. And I think that's just because there's a lot of people there. So that also includes a lot of maybe mentally unstable people. And there's just a lot of stuff. Yeah, New York City. But again, I think it's just because you have a lot of people stacked on top of each other. And that tends to lead to maybe more conflict than, let's say, in Montana, where people live like really far from one another. There's just less chance for conflict with your neighbor. Also, like local laws and stuff are different there. But yeah, I didn't want to, thank you for not opening up a whole can of worms. I kind of, like, yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about these. I forgot. We're opening more stuff. The gambling never ends here, chat. Chicago isn't as bad as a whole, it's only parts of the city. I mean, you can, yeah. Like, you can make the same argument for New York. Like, New York City in and of itself has bad, crimey areas, but if you look at, like, upstate New York and stuff, it's, like, a lot of foresty area and, like, low crime rate kind of stuff. The Gulf of Mexico? Spider-Woman incoming? We believe, Spidey. People of Mexico and the United States. Yeah, the Gulf of Mexico, or if you're Donald Trump, you mean the Gulf of America? That's such a tacky thing, by the way. It's so stupid. I wonder why that is. Probably just because of like the shipping lanes and stuff, I would think. You're never going to New Orleans at night by yourself? I wouldn't blame... Dude, any major city at night by yourself is sketchy, man. Even like Las Vegas, which is like the nightlife place, right? I've been there at night. There's some there's some really shady individuals. I wouldn't... Nah, man, I'm turning in after dark. For oil, the United States takes all of Mexico's oil. Oh, dang. I feel bad, like, for a lot of people in Mexico, just because of all the cartels and stuff, man. It's just a crappy situation for a lot of people. Oh, what is it, Garvey? Brooklyn can be pretty chill. There are areas you shouldn't be at night. Yeah, it's all about knowing those areas, Jack. A rank 4 MODOK, you're the worst, Garvey. I hate you. Just kidding. If one day you happen to search Google Maps for the Gulf of Mexico at night. No, dang it, man. Your prophecy did not come to pass. We did get a 6-star Captain Marvel movie, though. I feel like that's like... I keep pulling her, actually. I don't know why I keep getting Captain Marvel. It's weird. 20 lights on the US side and 2 lights in Mexico. Let me see if I can find what you're talking about. That sounds interesting. Gulf of Mexico at night. Where is a good picture? I'm scared that I'm gonna stumble onto something. Like, I would show you guys this on stream, but I'm terrified that I'm going to scroll like far down looking for something, and then all of a sudden I'm gonna be banned for the rest of my life on YouTube. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry if we see if you guys aren't able to see what I'm seeing. What would I search up to find that? Would I just look up like maybe that would work? Man, I don't know what to look for. I'm looking at like light pollution maps. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to join my Discord, Mystic, which is in the video description, you could send a picture of kind of what you're talking about on there in the general chat if you want. Dude, should we crack open all 39 million shards worth of these solo crystals, guys? We'll do an opening for the next, like, 10 hours. Could be fun. No, I'm just kidding. Ooh, can I spend my... I can't. I'm out. Okay. Oh. Okay. You studied agronomy and you... Agronomy? Is that a thing? Wait, what is that? You mean to say astronomy? Oh, never mind. It is a thing. It's the science of soil management and crop production. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Agronomy. Like agriculture, I guess, maybe. Huh. You learn a new word every day. I've actually never heard that word in my life. That's cool. Very cool. All right, guys. Bad news. I think we're going to wrap the stream up for today because we're done the two big arenas, basically. I don't really want to hop into the 4-star arena right now. It's a little bit later in the stream. So I think we're going to wrap it up here. If that's okay with everybody. Again, thank you guys for acting like adults and mature people when we're talking about potentially touchy subjects earlier. I do appreciate that. Seriously, thank you. But also, thank you guys for making the arena stream today. Awesome. I know it's a Monday. Sometimes it's hard to bring the energy. So thank you guys for absolutely popping off in the chat. I don't think I focused on the game itself at all today, which is my favorite thing to do when I'm streaming. So thank you very much. And then, yeah, again, I mean, I'm live every single day of the week, other than the weekends, of course. Same time every day. But yeah, I hope to see you guys tomorrow, which tomorrow there'll probably be a little bit of arena and then battlegrounds, I think. So we should be fairly close to what we did today. But anyway, thank you guys for being here again. Subscribe if you haven't already, just so you don't miss any of my video uploads or streams or anything like that. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your night, or if it's the morning or the day for you, have a good rest of your day, because time zones are weird and we all live in different places. So anyway, thank you guys for dropping by. I'm going to stop rambling and cut the stream now. I hope to see you guys tomorrow.